Did you know that 100 out of 100 people are suffering with subscriber phobia? So if you hit the subscribe button, you're cured! Hello giddies and gentlemen, it's Averageteadrinker here and we are back with another banger of a video. It's a 22 Darkheart Thicket, and in the video I'll be doing my normal tips and tricks for noteworthy mobs and bosses. I've managed to get 3.1k this week. Whoa, feels good. I'll show my talent stats and gear at the start of the dungeon, and I will link my talents in the description. Enjoy the video. Right, so starting off, there's going to be three things to watch out for. First off is the Grizzly Bear. He does a stacking debuff on the party every time he casts Maddening Roar, so make sure you funnel this mob down. Next is Unnerving Screech from the Screecher Owls. This will disorientate you for 3 seconds, so make sure to kick or CC these mobs. The last thing are the Nightclaw Tigers. They will pounce on a party member and they will leave a dot on you until you're healed above 90%. AG is really nice in this first build because it's going to keep the group topped at 100% or close to, and it's going to help your healer catch up with the Maddening Roar casts. The longer the pull goes on, the more you have to be wary about Maddening Roar, so either use your defensive on the first or save it for later casts, especially on bolstering weeks. So, 2 new mobs to watch out for around the corner. The Dreadsoul Ruiner is rotating 2 casts. There is Star Shower and Despair, which is what you'll have if they cast all the time. Make sure to keep these kicked and CC'd. Then the Crazed Razorbeaks, who are going to do a Propelling Charge, which is what it's called, and try to take you out if you stand in their way. Here's an example. If you've ever seen The Boys episode 1, with the scene with A-Train at the start, you'll know exactly what will happen to you. Quick note, if you don't skip these 2 bears, then prepare to nuke one down and use defensives on the later casts of Maddening Roar, and hope for the best. For Corrupto Druid, there's a few things to watch out for, but overall it's a really good fight for Enhancement. There is 2 things to be careful of. Grievous Leap, which should target a ranged player, but I believe it will go on melee as well if ranged are too close to the boss, so just be wary. It leaves a dot which needs to be healed past 90% to go away. Also, when he leaps back to the tank, do not stand on where he's leaping to because you'll get a debuff too. Last thing to watch out for is Primal Rampage, which charges on the tank. So a good rule to live by on this boss is just basically never go near the tank. Right, for the Enhanced boys, send your Primordial Wave at the start of the fight and then it should be up every single time for the ads. If not, you can always delay it a little bit because you're going to get 2 extra targets for the funnel damage. And then for the ads, you can use your CCs if they're just spreading their poop everywhere. For defensives, I'll just use them on if you get clipped by the leap or if you're standing in poop. Other than that, blast it down. Right, so for this area, it's pretty straightforward. Prioritize killing the Dryads as they hurl spears at people, and they don't really like being around their friends, so they're always going to jump away from them. The next mob, which is a must focus down, is the Darkheart Keepers. These guys are going to permanently heal all of their friends until they are killed. What kind of people? So just full nuke them down. Last thing to watch out for is the big puke mushrooms. Just don't stand on them. As you just saw, I just slightly clipped the outside knockup, which just barely put my little toe into the mushrooms, but as you can see, it just one-shots you, so don't be me, don't touch the mushrooms. Right, these dwellers are just going to fear you if they finish their cast on you, or whoever they're finishing their cast on. So if you don't have a lot of CC, you can take Tremor Totem, and it's basically going to negate their ability altogether. That's just something to keep in mind. Angry Tree is a really simple boss, and it's also an amazing fight for enhancement with our funnel kit. Starting off though, I'd rotate your defensives on Shattered Earth, as one of them comes out pretty quickly, and if you get the tank soak on you. Never stand on the tank as well, as there is a frontal called Nightmare's Breath, so beware of that. If you do take Spirit Walk in our tree, then you can clear a route on the ground once you stand in it and press it. But you can't press Spirit Walk and then run into the route, because you're just going to get rooted. So you have to do it after. Outside of that, for Primwave, you want to try to spread as many Flame Shocks as you can for each time. It's easier once the ads do spawn, as when they're on top of the boss and you Lava Lash, it's going to spread to most of them. But you can pre-dart the roots before they spawn the ads, just to get some extra funnel and more Primwave users. Other than that, blast the boss.
Defensive.
Two quick things for the big elemental here.
Charge.
Basically, you don't want to stand in front of it when he charges on the tank. And once he dies, he's going to release 4 little elementals. The one you want to interrupt the most is the Blood Metamorphosis, because that's going to basically make them back into a big elemental. So just save your CCs and your kicks for that.
Charge. Charge.
For Dragon Daycare, you don't want to stand on the eggs to spawn the whelplings. In some cases, tanks may pull the whelplings for us instead, because when we get extra targets, we get more funnel damage with Lava Lash and Primwave. So just, if you see the tank say, oh, I'm going to pull the whelplings, just save your primordial wave so you can get more funnel. Defensively, you'll want to rotate on the boss's cast of Earth-Shaking Roar, as it hits pretty hard, and you're going to help the healer a ton when you're rotating AG and your own defensives. I'd try bait the rubble from Earth-Shaking Roar to the sides of the room as well. For the pushback ability called Downdraft, you can use Spirit Walk on the first and then Windrush on the second, and by the time the third one comes around you should have Spirit Walk again. Last thing is, don't stand on the tank when the boss casts Breath of Corruption, as it is a frontal.
Bait Rebel. Bait Rebel.
Lots of casts going off here from the imps and summoners. There's going to be firebolts and shadow bolts going off, which needs to be interrupted as much as you can. The summoner will also cast Curse of Isolation, which can be dispelled by us thankfully, but that does ticking damage to people around you if it isn't dispelled. The imp's other cast is Dreadfire Inferno, which targets a random party member and will put a massive circle which will then explode after some time, so it kind of makes it annoying if it goes on melee because you have to run out. This, I'd say, is probably the main one to watch out for, as it does hit pretty hard. So with these mobs, just get your cap totems ready and your thunder shocks on CD. the man himself, Xavius. This guy can be pretty tough. There is 3 main things to watch out for. Starting off, we have Nightmare Bolt, which does a good chunk of damage when it hits you, and it also applies Waking Nightmares, which will perma-silence you until you stand next to someone with your little circle, or on top of them. Next is Induced Paranoia, which makes an ever-expanding puke puddle, which is going to fear you if anyone else touches your puke puddle. Damn you demon hunters fell rushing into me. This can be countered by Tremor Totem, but it's not up for every cast. The next thing is Festering Rip, which is a debuff which ticks pretty hard, and it reduces your healing taken. The last thing, and this is where people normally save Lust if they have it, is when the boss reaches 50%, he's going to cast Apocalyptic Nightmare, which does a good chunk of damage as well, and now throughout the fight, there's going to be swirlies coming from the roof and blasting the floor, and if you stand in one of these, it's just going to one-shot you, so just don't stand in them. So there's lots going on, so quick TLDR, stack with the silence, stand on the other side of the boss if you have the fear or if they have the fear. Use defensives for Nightmare Bolt and Festering Rip, and then send AG when people are low, and hope for the best. Just a FYI, I do stream on Twitch on Thursday and Friday mornings at GMT time, and on the occasional random night throughout the week. I upload most of my VODs as well on Twitch, so if you can't actually catch me live, that's fine. If you do want to watch the gameplay, you can just watch it through my VODs. I hope the tips were tipping, and I really do appreciate each of you guys watching. Also, it's my birthday in 2 days, and I'm slowly approaching my 30s. I'll be 29 on Monday. It's actually shocking, crazy. Quick note about the questions on my UI. It is available. Like I've said before, it's not like a paid UI or anything like that. It is for free, and it's only me doing it, so just be wary. There may be bugs, but I haven't seen any. So it works fine. Most people who use it are happy with it. So if you do like the look of it, just come in the Discord and grab it. Have a good weekend, guys. See you next time. Peace.